Good afternoon. My name is David Levinstein, executive producer at 103.9 LI News Radio, and I'm here with the host of the Portfolio Repairman, Mr. Yearend Haagen. He is a certified financial planner, has offices in Huntington, Northport, and Manhattan. His phone number is 631-425-1966, 425-1966. The website is tenhagen.com, TENHAAGEN. Good to see you, sir.
Always a pleasure. Thanks.
So we're heading towards the end of the year. Holiday season's coming. The Dow Jones is at an all-time high, and I can't count how many times during the course of my life that I've been aware of the Dow Jones that I've heard people say, Dow's at an all-time high. When it hit 2,000, all-time high, 2,100, 25, 32, 41, 57, 61, right?
Yes.
It's always hitting an all-time high at one point.
At some point, it seems to always go up, and it's because of commerce, industry, and people trying to get bigger and better jobs.
Right. So now, is that another all-time high?
As of yesterday morning.
And should people do anything differently?
No. Other than taking a good, strong look at what you own in your investments, and if you have one area or one particular stock that has really grown a lot, you might want to take that profit and take that money and put it into something that hasn't moved yet, but you still have faith in.
So that's very interesting. Let me ask you a question. So if people had an allocation set forth by them in the beginning of the year, right, and the Dow as an index, right, has moved up 10%, 11%, whatever the averages are, right, and it had a very average, basically a very average year, right?
Okay.
This was an average year.
Mm-hmm, yes.
And you notice that some of the allocated asset classes have outperformed other ones, right?
Right.
Should you rebalance your portfolio as it was in the beginning of the year?
Well, I think so, because what goes up does go down.
Right.
And so if you do have the benefit of having good choices of positions, take some profit off the table and put it into an area that hasn't moved and you anticipate well.
Do you find that people will still find value in their portfolio somewhere? Because not everything is going to go up.
Exactly.
Right. So there is still value to find within your portfolio that you can build a position.
Right. So if you have large cap U.S. stocks and it's done incredibly well,
right,
then take some of that money and put it into Europe,
right,
or the Asia area, because they haven't moved as much,
right,
but they well down the road.
Right. So there are ways to find value in your already performing portfolio, and one of the best ways to do that is to call Mr. Haagen in his office at 631-425-1966. 425-1966. And truly, there is no better time to make an appointment to see Mr. Haagen and review your entire year's portfolio. Look at how you're set for the upcoming year, and maybe discuss any life changes that you have had during the course of the year, right?
Very much so. If you have any life change, a birth, a death, a marriage, a divorce, you win the lottery.
A loss of income, a loss of a job, maybe a new job.
Exactly.
There are so many things that go on. Maybe you sold your house and you're downsizing, or maybe you had a baby and you bought a bigger house.
And so you've got to look at your beneficiary designations.
Right.
Are they still in line? Or did the person that was going to be one of your heirs pass?
Right.
Well, then you've got to change it around, because do you want, if the primary beneficiary passes, then goes to the contingent beneficiary, so second in line. Do you really want the total assets to go equally to all of them?
Right. So you want to make sure that your accounts are titled correctly.
Exactly.
With all these changes. And also, if I had an account for my daughter who's 11, let's say, right? And my account, and I'm 53, right? So my account, I would imagine, should be allocated slightly differently than my daughter who's 11, because our needs, my needs are more immediate than hers.
Well, your risk tolerances are different, because she's young and she has many, many years to make up for market corrections.
Right.
You may not have as many years, so you want to get slightly more safe, if you want to use that word, with your allocation.
Is it too late to do tax loss selling the portfolio because there's a 30-day rule, a wash sale?
No, there's a 30-day wash sale rule, which means I sell it now and I take the profit. I can't rebuy it for 31 days.
Right.
So, yeah, you can sell up to the last day of market day of the year.
But you can't rebuy it.
Right.
For 31 days.
Right.
And what does that, and by doing that, how does that benefit the investor?
It shows me that they're more of a day trader than not, or they're into individual stocks, and hopefully
Right.
they have enough assets to properly diversify and allocate.
Right.
It's just a method that you can do within the stock market to take a profit. You really love a company. It comes out that they're going to be a merger, and it jumps 20% or so.
Right.
And you don't think that the regulators are going to actually allow it to happen.
Okay.
Take your profit, wait 31 days, and go back in.
Interesting. Now, the at the end of the year, when people look at their portfolio, right, you can look at them and see their mutual funds should be sending out their 1099s shortly after the first of the year, right?
Well, it depends on how much international securities they have, because some of them go quite late into March. Which is,
really? They do, right?
it's frustrating, but that's the way it is.
Didn't the IRS put like a time frame when the investor has to receive it by?
There are, but they're very lenient.
They are, right. I mean, you have these massive firms and broker-dealers that are managing, thousands of accounts and billions of dollars. It's a lot of work.
Well, it's just a matter of the reporting to them
Right.
from the companies that they own.
Right.
And some of them, especially overseas, take a lot more time.
There's no better time than do a portfolio review. And please, Mr. Haagen is a certified financial planner. He is our investment portfolio repairman. And that's exactly what he'll do for you. He will repair something that is broken. And maybe even if it's not broken, have him look at it and let him give you the type of confidence you need in your current allocation. His phone number is 631-425-1966. 631-425-1966. It's the Haagen Financial Group. His website is TENHAAGEN. TENHAAGEN, Haagen.com. You've seen him on Channel 12 News. He is their go-to guy. He's our analyst here. And we're talking about year-end changes, year-end portfolio review, what the market's doing, and how it should affect your portfolio. Should you reallocate? Should you not reallocate? What to look for within your portfolio to find value in your portfolio. Because just because your portfolio is up doesn't mean everything in your portfolio is up. And there might be some hidden charms in there, right?
Very true. Also, if you have a 401k, and hopefully you do,
Yeah.
and you work for a specific company that gives stock into that portfolio,
Right.
take a look at how imbalanced it might become. I've got somebody that just came to me.
All right.
I would guess off the top, 65% is in one stock. Now,
Wow.
It's done great for him over the years.
Dangerous to be that overweighted in one area, right?
Yeah, and we just started working together, and he agrees that he's got to reallocate.
Yeah, I mean, for safety reasons, And so listen, you can't time the market. All you can do is spend time in the market, the right amount of time, and then at one point in your life, you're going to want to pull back because you're not going to be working anymore or bringing in an income, and you're going to hopefully receive an income from the money that you've invested over time.
Well, you're going into the market
Yeah.
for the long term. You're looking for into and to the end of your retirement.
Right.
So I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, actuarially they're saying you're going to live almost to 90.
Yeah.
And if you go to a card shop today, you'll see 2 rows of happy 100th birthday. 5 years ago, you saw 1 or 2 cards.
Right. Hey, man, I mean, people are spending more time in retirement than they are actually saving for retirement.
And it's also people spend more time planning a 2-week vacation than they do for their retirement.
That is unbelievably true because I'm going to take a vacation next October. And I've been talking about it with Lisa for the last, 3 months where we're going. But we haven't spoken once about putting money aside. And people do that, right? You're 100% right. And when I say that people spend more time in retirement than planning for retirement, we don't really plan for retirement really until your last kid is out of college or not dependent upon you. And then you look back and say, wow, I better start to really buckle down and save.
And see, I don't think that's the right thing to do.
It's not.
Because
I know it's not.
for college, you've got scholarships, grants, and loans.
Right.
For retirement, you have none of that.
You are so right. Something, people spend all their savings for college. And I fell into that trap.
Right.
Right. But I can't take out a retirement loan. I don't get a retirement grant. But you could get that money for college.
Yeah, so in retirement,
I feel like such a schmuck.
But if you're retired, you go down to the supermarket and you want to get a loaf of bread,
Yeah.
they're not going to give you credit for it.
No, they're not.
Pay me now
Right.
for the bread, period.
All right, you need to call Mr. Tanagan. His name is Jan Tanagan from the Tanagan Financial Group, TENHAAGEN, the Tanagan Financial Group, Northport, Huntington, and Manhattan. 3 offices, convenient for you. 631-425-1966. 631-425-1966. He is a certified financial planner, retirement income specialist, wealth management specialist, and an insurance consultant as well. We can talk about insurance when we come back from this commercial break.
Sure.
Also very important to review your insurance policy as well.
Absolutely.
And that can be done. Really, it should be done. If you don't have insurance and you're young, get it now. It's pennies on the dollar. It's so cheap.
Well, especially if you have a spouse and or children,
Right.
you have to have insurance.
Right.
Period.
David Levinstein, executive producer with Mr. Jan Tanagan, our portfolio repairman. We'll be right back right after these words.